Welcome back, beautiful people. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm using the La Roche-Posay moisturizer. This one has the SPF in it to moisturize my skin before we get started. And then I'm using some under eye patches just to give my under eyes just a little extra boost of hydration. I think at this point, I filmed this a long time ago, but I hadn't been sleeping well, so I needed that. And then I'm using my NYX Control Freak brow gel to help me lay down my brows. So I had been going in with my Morphe eyebrow pencil. This was in chocolate mousse, and the pomade that I used to is also in chocolate mousse, just because my brows are a little bit on the thinner side. So I like to give myself the appearance that I have thicker brows than I actually do. Like, I want to do like that laminated look, but it just my brows are just too thin to do all that, honestly. So that's why I'm just using my pencil to help me draw out my outline, and then I'm using my pomade to help me fill it in. I had bought this really cute brush set from ColourPop. It was on sale, and I pretty much ended up using all the brushes that were in it. I'll link it down in the description box below, as well as all the other products. So I'm using my Juvia's Place I Am Concealer. Now this one is too light for me to actually use it as like a concealer shade, so I just typically will use it to help carve out my eyebrows, and then sometimes I use it as an eyeshadow base. Today I'm not, but I just use it, you know, here and there for different purposes sometimes. Now I'm using my beauty blender to help me blend out. Now my beauty blender is going to be like my secret tool, because the thing is, I do use brushes because I do want more coverage, but then I also use a beauty blender to help me blend out things that maybe the brush has left. Now I'm using my Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer, and let me tell y'all, a little bit goes a long way. When I first started using this product, I would use way too much, and then it would take me forever to blend it out because it kind of dries a little bit quickly. So if you do end up getting this product, and I do really love it, you know, this video is not sponsored, if you do end up getting it, it's awesome, but just know that you really truly, you don't need a lot. To help me create this look today, I'm using the ColourPop Flirty Talk and the Morphe 'Tis the Season. I don't know if you can still get this, because I bought it at Christmas. Like, I filmed this a while ago, so I don't know if you can still get it. If I can find the link, I'll go ahead and link it down below. But I'm just going ahead and I'm picking up my first color. I'm just using this to help me just start to have a base to kind of blend out, and then I'm going in with my second color. Now this one, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to take a while, because I'm just going to use this and just lightly start to build my color up, because at this point I know in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know I want something pink. I know I want more of like a halo eye on this day, so I'm just going to take my time and just keep building up that color, versus, you know, I go crazy and I go on my palette, and then, you know, now I have too much color, and now I'm working extra hard to blend it out. Just slowly but surely just start to build up my color, and then just go on from there. Now I'm gonna start creating my shape. It's like setting myself up to go ahead and do the halo eye, because at this point, when I was doing this day, like, I was just kind of winging it. Like, I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it, but I was just like, let me just let my mind take me wherever. But I'm just gonna start blending out like my outer corner, my inner corner. That way I can go ahead and set myself up to get ready to lay down a little bit of concealer and then build my actual halo eye. I went back with the first color that I picked up on a different brush, and I'm just using that to help me blend out my edges. Now, I'm not necessarily doing like a cut crease, but the pink that I ended up using, I knew that I was going to need something else behind it to give it a little bit more pop, that way that it wouldn't have gotten lost. So I'm not necessarily doing a cut crease. I just need a little bit of wiggle room to create a background for the pink that I'm going to end up using. So just want to make that extremely clear. I'm not doing a cut crease. I have other cut crease videos that will come out later, but that's not my purpose in doing that. I just needed something that I could lay down like more of a white background. That way when I put the pink that I end up using down, that's what it's for. Okay, so but then I'm using that same color that I was using on my inner and my outer corner to kind of like pre-blend, to make it much easier on myself, because I personally find that it's a little bit easier when you kind of pre-blend. And I didn't pick up any other color, right? This was just color that was still on the brush, and it just helped me kind of blend out that middle. Then when I go to lay down my color, yes, I'm still gonna blend, but I won't have to work as hard. Like, that's gonna be the main thing, is just setting yourself up so that you don't have to work that hard, because who wants to do that? I will put the names of all the different eyeshadows that I use in the description box below. But now you see I'm picking up You're a Gift out of that Morphe 'Tis the Season palette, and I'm just using that to kind of set my concealer, because I know some people like to lay eyeshadows on wet concealer. I just don't like it. It feels weird to me. I just don't like it. So it just subconsciously, I'm just like, ew, this is wrong. And makeup has no rules, technically, just guidelines. It's just it bothers me. So I had picked up that You're a Gift and then laid that down, and then I picked up my pink shade to lay that down on top of that, and then I felt much better. Then I'm going in with my Kat Von D tattoo eyeliner, just creating a cute little wing. I am going to have to come back and touch it up a little bit, because it does get lost in my process, but that's okay. And I kind of messed up a little bit, but listen, it's okay. Mistakes can be made, whatever. Then I'm going in with my ColourPop liner. Like I said, I'll put it down in the description box below, because I filmed this months ago, so I don't necessarily remember every single thing that I use, so I got you. But I'm just using that on my waterline, and then that's, yeah. I am going to do a lash, but for now I'm just using my e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara, just so I can still kind of get a concept of, you know, where I still want to go for the rest of this look. But like I said before, I like to use a mascara so that the eyelash glue will stick to that and not my lashes. So now I'm using my e.l.f. Power Grip. A lot of people apply this product wrong, and I think that's why they don't like it. You're supposed to pat it in. That's how you activate the grip. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but that's how you do that. Finally, an under eye primer that actually works. This one is from the Ulta brand, because if you remember in one of my other videos, that Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow primer, under eye primer was garbage, so we switched to a different side. So I'm using my ABH Luminous foundation. I love this foundation. It gets really good coverage. I really like the finish of it. I feel like you just get an effortless glow without even trying too hard. Like, you know, sometimes if I feel like I need a little bit more glow, I'll use my L'Oreal Glotion, but with this, you know, I don't need it. And then I'm using my Juvia's Place bronzer in Amber, my cream bronzer. I like this one too. Now, I could have contoured. I didn't want to. I knew I wanted soft glam, but I didn't want to go super heavy on the contour. So I'm using my bronzer almost as a contour today. Now, bronzer and contour are not the same thing. We talked about that in another video, but I'm just kind of doing a 2-for-1 because it's like I still want that dimension, but I don't necessarily want it to be super heavy. So that's why I'm ended up using that today. And I use an angled blush brush to help me really get into like the crevices of my cheeks and really just help me sculpt out my cheeks. I love using brushes like this for that. And then, I mean, I contour my nose just a little bit, but it's just out of habit at this point. I don't really feel like I necessarily need it, but it's hard to break habits. I'm using my Fenty concealer. This one was the hydrating formula, and I'm just using that to help highlight my face. Now, this is what I mean about brushes versus sponges, because this one is not super full coverage, but I knew I wanted a little bit extra coverage, so I'm gonna use a brush. I use the Morphe brush to help me blend this out. That way I still get my coverage that I want without sacrificing like product necessarily. And then I use my beauty blender to help me blend it out. You'll see in just a second. And here we go again with my Juvia's Place liquid blush. I'm using Sweet Berries today. And here I am again, just doing the most. Going straight applicator to face, you will get a super blushed out look. If that's what you're going for, kudos to you. Love that for you, but that's not necessarily what I was trying to do. I filmed this months ago, and so since then, I've learned that it's easier for me, and I like it much better when I apply the product to the back of my hand first. Use whatever tool I'm gonna use to help me pick it up and then apply. I feel like I get a better blend. I feel like I don't have to work as hard to blend it, because I was like, I have a brush, but like I'm kind of struggling a little bit, so then I go to pick up my beauty blender. Whereas had I just used it on the back of my hand first and then applied it, I wouldn't have had to do that extra step. It's just all about working a little bit smarter. So now I'm going in with my Juvia's Place powder foundation, and then I'm using that to set my face first before I go in with my powders. This has been my secret weapon for the past couple months. It's starting to get hot here, and I filmed this months ago, so I've just been trying it out, and I really do like it, especially when we talk longevity. I'm in the salon, I got the blow dryers going, I get hot and all that kind of stuff, so it just works for me. So I'm mixing my Morphe Translucent Rich, and then I'm mixing it with the Laura Mercier Light Catcher. I think this one is in Cosmic Rose. I love the Laura Mercier Light Catcher powder, but I will say it can be too intense, so that's why I end up mixing the two, because if you don't, it's almost like too much light is caught, if that makes sense. Like there's too much glitter to use by itself. If you ever use the product, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I do absolutely love it. And I'm using my e.l.f. setting spray. I really don't like this spray, I'll just be honest. I don't. I bought it, used it, and I'm finished with it. Now I'm using my Juvia's Place bronzer in dark to just kind of add a little bit more warmth to my face and set the cream bronzer that I had used earlier. So I'm not gonna go back in with another blush, so that, you know, this is it. I'm using my Fenty Liquid Kilowatt. I think this one's in vintage velour. I love this one. It just gives like the nicest glow without it being too heavy. Like, it really looks like you've been kissed by the sun, and it's just really effortless. That, like, this has been one of my faves. Now I will say I now also blend it on the back of my hand first before I pick it up. It's just easier that way, honestly, for me. And see, like, it's just like the most effortless glow. I can't wait to kind of play around with some of her liquid highlighters this summer, as well as get my hands on that demi glow, because I think it's gonna be chef's kiss. Now I'm just going back into my palette and just kind of smudging out my under eye just a little bit. That's about it, just to give it a little bit more color, because I don't like being super bare up under my under eye, especially if I go all out with my eyeshadow. And here I am just kind of touching up that eyeliner that got lost in, again with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liquid Liner. Refreshing up my bottom lashes with that e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. It's a cute, you know, little mascara. I'm not super picky about my mascaras, honestly. I just use them for one reason. Now I'm using my NYX lip liner. This one's in Prune. Listen, I know that I need another one. I am a firm believer. I'm gonna use my products until I can't get nothing else out of it. Like, that's just how I roll. I will get another pencil, don't worry about it. And then I'm using my Fenty lipstick in the shade Riri. I really love this color. Now I'm using my Ardell. These is the Naked lashes, the 421s. I really love these because they're just so cool, and they're just so effortless. Like, they really do look like natural. I think I'm over my super thick eyelash phase, but that's just me. Thanks for watching, y'all. Subscribe, like, share. Love you. Bye.